So hello everyone, welcome back on this YouTube channel, let me say YouTube channel, or this educational content channel. And today I think I'm going to be making a continuation from where we stopped at, because last time we looked about downtrend, and I think today we're going to be looking at actually last time we looked at an uptrend, and then we looked at things found in an uptrend. We look at very many things, how we can identify the uptrend, the indicators that we can use to identify the uptrend. We use the protege and then I talked about we use the green and then the red. The green should give us the lows, and then the red should give us the highs if it's an uptrend. The same thing applies to the downtrend. So green should be up, and then red should be up, and then green should be down. So today I'm going to be continuing from where we stopped at. So today I'm going to be talking about a downtrend. Okay, so before I do that, let me first take you back. Let me first give you a recap of what we studied about last time. So I talked about an uptrend. So let me say an uptrend. Let me use caps lock in this case. So we talked about an uptrend, right? So then we say an uptrend is made up of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, it is made up of higher highs, and then higher lows, right? Higher lows, and then we said the higher highs and higher lows are made by pullbacks, and so they're made of pullbacks. They're made of pullback. Sorry, I wrote bull. I made of pull. Excuse me. They're made of pullbacks, which make higher lows and push phases, or what you can call the impulsive move to the upside. Push phase, which makes the higher high. So I think we talked about all of this. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to be talking the opposite of this. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about actually I'd forgotten something, and then we said that we can also actually we talked about the candle, which we say that in the uptrend they are bearish candles, right? Whether they're bullish candles, yeah. So that's what I talked about last time. I talked of all of this in the video that I posted recently, I think a few days back. So we talked about all of this. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about the downtrend. So let me delete all of this. Sorry. So let me delete that. So today we're going to be looking at the uptrend. Okay, sorry. So today we're going to be looking at the uptrend, rather the downtrend. Sorry, downtrend. Okay, downtrend. So how does the downtrend look like? So let me anchor this. So it's anchored there, so it won't be moving. Okay, so it's anchored. So let me even make it a bit bigger. Okay, so like how does a downtrend look like? Okay, a downtrend or a bearish. Actually, let me also add this. Or open brackets, downtrend, rather, or the bearish market. So how does this come to pass? Like how does this market look like in real life? So let me first give you illustration. Okay, let me first give you things that are involved in a downtrend or bearish market. So first thing first is that we shall look at the candles that make up that trend. Okay, so these candles are always red. Okay, so these candles are going to be red in color. Then the wick also will be red. Okay, so this is how this candle will be looking like. in this case. Let me make this a solid line, then change its color to red. Change color to red, sorry. So this is how this candle will be looking like, okay? So these candles will be red in color, and then they'll all be opening from up, closing from down, okay? As I told you in the previous videos that I talked about. Then so I told you that if this closes from here, the next candle will open from here, okay? So let's assume, let me clone this. So let's assume this here, then the next candle will open from there, okay? So this is how these candles will be looking like in this scenario. Bring text over here. Okay, so this is how this trend will be looking like. Let me clone this. Let me clone it. Excuse me. Then this is how it will be looking like, okay? So this is how this trend will be looking like. It will be made up of these candles, okay? They'll all be going to the downside. Open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. And then, like, how does this trend look like? Okay, so let me use the path tool. So as always, okay, we begin with the let's continue guys. I'm sorry for that interruption. So let me delete this, let me delete it. So I was telling you that we always have the push, okay, and then you have the pull, okay? You have the push, okay, you have the pull, okay, you have the push, okay, and then you have the pull, okay, we have the push, we have the pull, you have the push, and then you have the pull, okay? That's called the pullback. So like as I told you recently, okay, so this is the push pullback, okay? So in this scenario, so we shall be having two things here, okay? So we're going to be having the higher low, rather the lower high, okay, and then the lower low. We're going to be having the lower high, then we shall be having the lower low, okay? We're going to be having the lower low in this case, okay? So as I said, so which of this is the lower low and which is the lower high? So all of levels that are in the downside, okay, all of these levels that are in the downside, they're the ones you call the lower lows, okay? And then all levels that are in the upside, the highs that are in the upside, they're called the higher lows, rather the lower highs, because they're going to the downside, they're lowering, okay? That's why I'm going to call them that the lowering, okay? They are lowering this scenario. If it was up to the upside, they're highering, okay? But this case, they are in the downtrend, okay? So let me undo my moves. So so now let's name them, okay? So we say that a push phase leads to a what? In this case, it will be the opposite. A push phase is going to lead to a what? It's going to lead to a lower low, okay? And then a pullback is going to lead to a what? To a higher high, okay? So continuously. So let's clone this. Let's clone. So all of these higher levels are going to be higher, our lower highs, okay? They're going to be lower highs because they are to the downside, okay? That's why we call them lower highs. So let me clone them. Let me clone. Sorry. Let me clone it to this level over here. So the same applies to this over here, okay? So let me clone it and then bring it here. Sorry, I need it here. Clone. Come over here. Clone. Clone it to that level. Then bring this over here. Then still clone this, okay? We are going to be doing the same thing repeatedly. So now I say that this is a what? This is a push, this is a pull, okay? Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. So that's how the market moves, okay? It moves in phases. A pull phase and then a push phase. Oh, I tell you can call this a impulsive move or correction move. Impulsive move, correction move, impulsive move, correction move, okay? Impulsive move, correction move, impulsive move, then, or you can call this a retracement, okay? A retracement. You can call it a pullback, a retracement, or a correction. It depends on how you want to call it, okay? So after me giving you this, now I think you have the overall thing into your heads now, okay? This is what this. So I said this is the what? This is the push phase, okay? And then this is the what? This is the pullback, okay? Push phase, okay? Because the market will never move straight. And then this is the pullback, okay? This is the push phase, okay? Then this is the pullback, okay? Push phase, okay? Then pullback, okay? Push phase, pullback. So that's how easy it is to identify this using your eyes. And then I told you that if you're being disturbed on identifying these levels, you can use the protege pivot swing points, okay? The protege pivot swing points for clarification, okay? So now let's dive into real life examples and then show you how these look like. So as I told you, we always use the bigger time frame, okay? We use the bigger time frame from 1 hour to the up. Okay, so now let's look for something like a downtrend. Okay, so if you look over here now, okay, so if you look in this section here, so now let's scan this. Sorry. So now let's scan this area over here. Okay, all of this area to this level. This area over here. Do you see it? The highlighted area. Do you see it, right? So we are going to use this for this scenario, okay? So now let me use my okay, so now if you look, so let me delete this. So let me first remove, okay, actually let me leave this indicator here, okay? So as I told you, if you see here now, this was the beginning of our trend to the downside, okay? So now let's use our path. So if it was like this, okay, from here making a lower high, rather a lower low, then giving us a lower high, giving us a lower low, giving us a lower high, okay, giving us a lower low, okay, and then giving us a lower high. So that's where the trend stopped at. So if we saw anything like a break-off structure at this level, then we would have considered that to be a another lower low, a new lower low that is being formed. But for this case, this is where price stopped at, and then it gave us this level over here, okay, this level over here. So this was a change of character, then price changed to the upside, giving us a higher high, a higher low, okay, so like that. So now I think with that you can now just do more practice and then see that at least you can get something from this. If you practice every day, like at least if you get something like 30 minutes or 1 hour, give it to the charts and then master this using your eyes, then it will be easy for you to identify, guys, okay? So that's the easiest thing I would like you to be doing, like every day, all the time, for just to train your eyes. Now you can see these levels. So in the next video, I'm going to be talking about something called the break-off structure. Okay, I'm going to be talking about market structure in brief. Okay, I'm going to be talking about market structure. Okay, market structure. I'm going to be talking about market structure. Okay, so as per now, I'm going to end this video here because it isn't too long. It is just the concepts are the same with the previous video that I made. So just put this in working and then do the opposite of the other thing that I talked about in the uptrend. Okay, so if the other thing is the uptrend, then this is the downtrend. So you just need to grasp concepts and then mix them together. Okay, so you'll be getting something better for yourself. So I'm going to be ending here, guys. Peace. I sign out.